Hello friends, welcome to our channel where we dive deep into the lives of the greatest figures in history. Today, we're unraveling the incredible journey of Abraham Lincoln, a man whose story is as inspiring as it is legendary. From a humble log cabin in Kentucky to the highest office in the land, Lincoln's life is a testament to courage, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. Join us as we explore how this self-taught lawyer became the 16th President of the United States, led the country through its darkest days, and reshaped history with his vision of freedom and equality. Get ready to be inspired by his struggles, triumphs, and the legacy that continues to shape the world today. Let's begin the story of Abraham Lincoln. Number 1. From humble beginnings to rising star, 1809 to 1854. Number 1. Early life and struggles, 1809 to 1816. Abraham Lincoln was born on February 12, 1809, in a one-room log cabin in Hardin County, now LaRue County, Kentucky. His parents, Thomas and Nancy Lincoln, were farmers who struggled to make ends meet. Lincoln's childhood was marked by poverty, and he'd limited access to formal education, attending school sporadically for less than a year. Loss and resilience, 1818 to 1828. At the age of 9, Lincoln faced a major tragedy when his mother, Nancy Hanks Lincoln, died of milk sickness. His father remarried Sarah Bush Johnston, who became a supportive stepmother. Despite limited resources, Lincoln developed a passion for reading and learning. Moved to Illinois and early work, 1830 to 1834. In 1830, the Lincoln family moved to Illinois. Abraham worked various manual labor jobs, including splitting rails and piloting flatboats. His reputation for honesty and strength earned him the nickname Honest Abe. Introduction to Law and Politics, 1834 to 1836. Lincoln was elected to the Illinois State Legislature in 1834 as a member of the Whig Party. During this period, he began studying law independently and obtained his license to practice in 1836. He gained popularity for his straightforward manner and oratory skills. Mary Todd and family, Lo Solche. Lincoln met Mary Todd, a well-educated and politically astute woman from Kentucky. They married in 1842 and had 4 children, Robert, Edward, William, and Thomas, Tad. The Lincolns faced personal tragedies, losing 3 of their sons at young ages. Congressional career. Lincoln was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives in 1846. While in Congress, he opposed the Mexican-American War and slavery's expansion. His spot resolutions questioned President James K. Polk's justification for the war, showcasing his commitment to accountability and justice. Return to law and political evolution. After his term in Congress, Lincoln returned to practicing law in Springfield, Illinois. The passage of the Kansas-Nebraska Act in 1854, which allowed new territories to decide on slavery, reignited his political passion. He began speaking out against the spread of slavery, positioning himself as a leader in the emerging Republican Party. Number 2. The rise to presidency and Civil War leadership, 1854 to 1865. The Lincoln-Douglas debates. Lincoln challenged Senator Stephen A. Douglas for his seat in the U.S. Senate. Their debates focused on the morality and future of slavery in America. Though Lincoln lost the election, his eloquence and moral clarity gained him national recognition. Election as president. Lincoln's stance against slavery and his ability to unite diverse political factions led to his nomination as the Republican candidate for president in 1860. He won the election, becoming the 16th President of the United States. His victory prompted Southern states to secede, leading to the formation of the Confederacy. The onset of the Civil War. The Civil War began in April 1861 with the Confederate attack on Fort Sumter. Lincoln prioritized preserving the Union above all else. Despite initial setbacks, he demonstrated steadfast leadership and determination. The Emancipation Proclamation. On January 1, 1863, Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring all slaves in Confederate-held territories free. This landmark decision transformed the war into a fight for human freedom and galvanized support for the Union cause. Gettysburg Address. In November 1863, Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address at the dedication of a national cemetery. The brief yet powerful speech emphasized equality, liberty, and the enduring importance of democracy, cementing his legacy as a master orator. Challenges in leadership. Lincoln faced criticism from all sides: abolitionists who wanted faster action on slavery, and conservatives who resisted change. He navigated these challenges with pragmatism, balancing political pressures while staying true to his moral convictions. Re-election and the 13th Amendment, 1864 to 1865. Despite the war's toll, Lincoln was re-elected in 1864. His administration pushed for the passage of the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. The amendment was passed by Congress in January 1865, marking a monumental achievement in American history. Number 3. Triumph, Tragedy, and Legacy. End of the Civil War. April 1865. By April 1865, the Union forces, led by General Ulysses S. Grant, had defeated the Confederate armies. On April 9th, Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively ending the Civil War. Lincoln's vision for Reconstruction. Lincoln advocated for a lenient Reconstruction policy to heal the nation's wounds. He emphasized malice toward none and charity for all in his second inaugural address, aiming to reunite the country without fostering resentment. Assassination at Ford's Theater. April 14, 1865. On April 14, 1865, just days after the war's end, Lincoln was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth, a Confederate sympathizer. He was shot while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C., and died the following morning. Number 4. Post-assassination impact and reconstruction challenges, national mourning and unity efforts. Lincoln's death plunged the nation into grief. His funeral train journeyed across several states, symbolizing national mourning. His assassination galvanized Northern efforts to complete Reconstruction and solidified his status as a martyr for freedom and unity. Andrew Johnson's presidency and Reconstruction. Vice President Andrew Johnson succeeded Lincoln. While Johnson initially followed Lincoln's moderate Reconstruction policies, his leniency toward the South and opposition to civil rights legislation led to clashes with Congress, slowing progress on racial equality. Reconstruction amendments. The period saw the ratification of the 14th Amendment, granting citizenship and equal protection under the law, and the 15th Amendment, guaranteeing voting rights regardless of race. These amendments were direct results of the ideals Lincoln championed. Civil rights challenges. Despite constitutional advancements, systemic racism and violence against African Americans persisted. The rise of groups like the Ku Klux Klan highlighted the ongoing struggle for equality, underscoring the limits of Lincoln's legacy in a divided nation. Number 5. Lincoln's enduring legacy, symbol of democracy and freedom. Lincoln's image as the great emancipator endures. His leadership during America's darkest hours established principles of equality and federal authority that remain cornerstones of the nation's identity. Cultural memorials. Monuments like the Lincoln Memorial, along with his presence on currency, reflect his lasting influence. Schools, towns and organizations bear his name, celebrating his contributions to justice and unity. Inspiration for civil rights movements. Leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. drew inspiration from Lincoln's vision. King's "I Have a Dream" speech at the Lincoln Memorial symbolized the continuity of Lincoln's fight for equality. Modern political symbol. Lincoln is frequently invoked in political discourse, representing integrity, humility, and resolve. His life serves as a benchmark for leadership and moral courage. Global influence. Beyond America, Lincoln's ideals resonate worldwide. He is celebrated as a symbol of liberty and perseverance, influencing leaders and movements across the globe. Number 6. The Civil War and the Preservation of the Union. Key. Political problem. The secession of southern states and the outbreak of the Civil War in 1861. Overview of the political climate in 1860 with the election of Abraham Lincoln. The secession crisis. Southern states felt that their rights were being threatened, especially in relation to slavery. Lincoln's position on preserving the Union and the impact of his election. Main challenges. Diplomatic and military challenges. Ensuring foreign powers did not recognize the Confederacy. Managing a divided North. Northern Democrats and various factions opposed his policies, developing and executing military strategy to suppress the rebellion. Lincoln's solutions. Committed to preserving the Union at all costs, despite the political and moral complexities of slavery. Lincoln's leadership style. Balancing political pragmatism with moral clarity. Key decisions like the Emancipation Proclamation, which redefined the war's purpose and shifted its political goals. Effective communication with the public through speeches like the Gettysburg Address. Outcome and impact. Ultimately, the Union was preserved after the surrender of the Confederacy in 1865. The long-term effects on the United States and the abolition of slavery. Number 7. Slavery and the Emancipation Proclamation. Key political problem. The issue of slavery and its moral, political, and social implications. The moral and political dilemma of slavery. Lincoln's early stance and how it evolved over time. The political pressures. The influence of abolitionists, border state politics, and the demands of Union military success. Balancing the need to keep the border states loyal to the Union while ending slavery. The constitutional and legal constraints around emancipation. Political opposition. Northern Democrats, who were less committed to abolition, and some Republicans, who were more radical. Lincoln's solutions. The Emancipation Proclamation. Why Lincoln issued it, how it redefined the war effort, and the political ramifications. The careful political maneuvering needed to pass the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery permanently, building support through speeches such as the Gettysburg Address to justify the moral imperative of ending slavery. Outcome and impact. The Emancipation Proclamation's effects. It changed the nature of the war and ensured that European powers would not intervene on behalf of the Confederacy. The abolition of slavery through the 13th Amendment. The political and social ramifications for post-war America. Number 8. Reconstruction and the future of the Union. Key political problem. The rebuilding of the South and the integration of formerly enslaved people into the Union after the Civil War. The challenges of Reconstruction: how to reintegrate Southern states into the Union while addressing the rights of freed slaves. The political landscape: Lincoln's plan versus radical Republicans' approach to Reconstruction. The deeply divided political climate. The loss of Confederate power and the rising tensions between Lincoln's moderate views and radical Republicans. The question of how to treat the former Confederate leaders and the Southern elite. The challenges of granting citizenship and equality to the newly freed African Americans. Lincoln's solutions: Lincoln's 10% plan, the process of readmitting Southern states based on loyalty oaths and ensuring some form of political loyalty from former Confederates. The challenges of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments to secure freedom, citizenship, and voting rights for African Americans. How Lincoln laid the groundwork for Reconstruction, even though he didn't live to see it out fully unfold. Outcome and impact: the assassination of Lincoln and the shift in Reconstruction policies under Andrew Johnson, and later Ulysses S. Grant. The long-term effects of Lincoln's approach, particularly regarding civil rights and the eventual civil rights movements in the 20th century. Abraham Lincoln's legacy is defined by his extraordinary leadership during America's most turbulent period. His commitment to preserving the Union and ending slavery through the Emancipation Proclamation reshaped the nation. Despite facing immense challenges, Lincoln's vision for a united, free America laid the foundation for a stronger democracy. His tragic assassination in 1865 cut his life short, but his ideals of equality, justice, and liberty continue to inspire generations. Lincoln's ability to navigate political, social, and moral complexities cements his place as one of the most influential leaders in world history, shaping the course of the United States forever. So if you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content.